drums pulsating, the energy so strong. Join the movement where dreams belong.
Thank
From
you, everybody.
Lagos to
Thank you for
Nairobi,
joining. We'll pick up in
we
the next
go.
2 minutes and we
Skill
just have fun, learn
Academy,
one or two things together,
break down the
and we
walls.
wrap up. Thank you
In the
for
heart of
joining
Africa,
on a Friday
a
evening. Thank
flaming
you.
light, a
God
rhythm
knows you
so
can grab
vibrant.
margarita right now and
It
have
sets
fun.
minds
Thanks for
alive.
joining, folks.
Skill Academy, where leaders are born.
We'll be very quick,
Embrace the
so don't worry.
tempo, let your dreams take storm. Rise up, leaders, let the beat guide your way. Unlock your potential, seize the day. From the dance floor to the boardroom, let your light shine, shine. Skill Academy, it's your time. Feel the drums pulsating, the energy so strong. Join the movement where dreams belong.
Thank you, everybody.
From Lagos to
Thank
Nairobi,
you, everybody. We'll
here
pick up in a
we
minute. Thank
go.
you, everybody. Thank you
Skill
for joining.
Academy,
Thank you, everybody.
break down
Thank
the
you all for making
walls.
it, folks. Thank you,
Rise up,
everybody. Thank you.
leaders, let the beat guide your
All right.
way. Unlock your potential, seize the day.
Thank you,
From the
everybody.
dance
Thank
floor
you
to the
all.
boardroom, let your light shine, shine. Skill Academy, it's your time.
All right, welcome everybody. Thank you for taking the time to join. Thank you so much for hanging out on a Friday evening. God knows there are a lot of things you can do today, and you chose to hang out with us. So thank you. We'll make it as quick, eventful as possible. The goal and the intent is simple. A lot of us in the space of cyber have always had, we have some questions. So we said, okay, let's just have a session to quickly brainstorm on some of those typical questions. And if you don't mind, just type what part of the world you're chatting in from. Let's just see. All right. From the greatest city in the world, New York in the house. Hi, Taufik. All right. Let's say another one. Come on, brag about your city. The best city in the world, Big D, Dallas, Texas in the house. Best city in the world, Dallas, Texas. Let's see. All right, awesome. Okay, we see Slovakia and Calgary, Maryland. All right, let's see. Dallas in the house. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, thank you. Let's see what part of the world you are chatting in from. Funny, Texas. Go, Val. Awesome. Raleigh, North Carolina. Awesome. Let's go. Grayson, Georgia. Love it. All right, let's see. We have Funny in the house. Hi, Irene. All right, we have Grayson also. We have Dallas in the house. Okay, let's see. We got Grace in Georgia. That's awesome. We have Maryland in the house. Slovakia in the house. Woo-hoo-hoo. Calgary in the house. Love it. All right. Let's see. Taufik, New York in the house. Greatest city in the world. Okay. You know what? I am mad at you. Blow your trumpet, man. Love it. All right, Dallas in the house. Awesome. Ugo. Aurora, Colorado in the house. Atlanta, Georgia in the house. All right. Thank you, everybody. We'll make it as quick and brief as possible. So, a lot of us have had a lot of questions, and I thought it makes sense to kind of brainstorm together. We have an upcoming class coming, yes, but these are just some basic things I just wanted to kind of do, like, meet the trainer kind of thing and just kind of discuss some roundtable in general, some of those basic things. Some of you might have heard about cyber that might be weird and crazy. And I'll tell you where I stand in terms of what I think. Now, it doesn't mean none of us have a monopoly of knowledge of what's going on all over the world. We can only talk about the trends out there that we've seen. One thing I'll tell you is that in the last few months, it's been crazy. I'm sure some of you watch the news also, and you've seen the speed of attack is insane recently. Banking sector has been crazily affected. This week was horrible. I think Bank of America had an issue. A lot of community banks have an issue. A lot of folks that are subscribing and providing cloud service for banks, it was a disaster. Yesterday was bad. My personal bank too had issues. So you couldn't do any online banking. It was bad, right? So I'm not surprised with this statistic. 60% of small companies close within 6 months of a cyber attack. That is pretty bad. It means, That's a lot. Small company, you're a startup and you're attacked with cyber threat. So that can wipe out a business immediately, right? Ransomware is on the rise also. The last few years, the trend has just been going up. And ransomware is just somebody installed a virus in your system and is asking for a ransom. They would ask you to put like a Bitcoin and they, you know, um, automatically break down your network or they take over your network. Sometimes they deface your website. So whatever it is, it's just it has risen recently. And AI made it even worse because now a lot of these guys and ladies that are malicious are using softwares that are easily accessible now. Third party risk is a reality, let's face it. This simply means that everybody's going to use a vendor. So you can trust yourself. But what about your vendor though? Do we know what they're doing, their practices? So it's a big rise recently in general, okay? And so in general, some basic trends that we've seen out there. We know ransomware is on the rise, third party risk is on the rise. AI in cybersecurity is also playing a big role. Now, let me pause. This is a popular one I've seen recently, and that is people asking me, it's probably on this call. A gentleman called me last week. 30 of them were laid off in one of the major semiconductor companies and what they do is I believe they do security operations center monitoring and some of them are network monitoring folks. Now, this is what I think. There's no source to confirm it fully, but my own theory. And some of you in technical space, you would have observed this recently also. We've seen an increase, a spike in layoff in technical space. You know why? Let's be honest, folks. None of us can monitor a network better than AI algorithm right now. Let's face it. So if I'm monitoring patterns of attack, monitoring threats, you and I cannot do a better job than those AI. And what's happening is that companies that have used, 30 resources are now using 5. It's crazy though, really. And it's even getting worse because now the management consulting guys are coming in gradually and they're introducing people into efficiency. Let's face it, if you are the CEO of a company today and I tell you you're potentially, you can save 60% in terms of your operation cost, I'm not sure you and I will say no to that offer. I know you might be so nice and very, proactive. You want everybody to be fine, but I'm not sure because think about it. You're the chief operating officer. It's tied to your bonus. Your board gives you recognition, and you understand you are in this for business. So those are the trends we've seen. Now, the nice thing for those of us in the non-technical field like cyber GRC is that not because they cannot fire anybody. Let's face it. If it's not your dad or mom's business, they can fire anybody or family business. However, because by law, some regulations need to be in place. Some regulation requires people to do security awareness training. So because of that, GDPR, EPA, prepared for my Canadian folks, NEXIP for utility, CMMC for government contractor, all of this now makes it so difficult to just dismiss the human element. So that's why the non-technical side surprisingly is picking up more. Now, we are not of the illusion that anything is automatic. We can't explain it. For example, in our community, for example, in the last 3 months, we've had 18 people get offers in that field. Now, it does not mean it's going to be like that forever, right? We don't know. There are two school of thought. Some are saying because of the election. Some are saying because of the spike in attacking financial sector, health sector, and different industry is what made it increase in terms of hiring. Whatever the reason is, we'll take it, right? I mean, hey, if our folks are getting jobs, we are good with that, okay? So that's the way I've seen the trend in general in terms of AI. And feel free, folks, you can type and, you know, um, tell me what you think also, but that's what I've seen in general. So it's just a roundtable. We just want to chat and talk about what's going on out there. Some crazy statistics out there. So this is crazy though. you know, um, some of this you don't know, but this is the potential cost worldwide, trillions of dollars in terms of the cost by 2025. So that means all over the world economy is probably about maybe 100 and something trillion GDP wide all over the world or something like that, right? And if you're saying almost a tenth of it is susceptible to cyber attack, that's big. 93% of those attacks are financially motivated, which we would agree generally. Um, 83% of people that have some framework, which is just some best practice guide, tends to experience fewer breaches. So the data is compelling. If you have your environment benchmarked to best practices, the chance of you being attacked is much more less. So people would definitely take that. For those of us that have been in consulting for many years, it's a big deal if you go with the like of Big Four, Big Five, whatever. They would chew you crazy if you don't have your environment benchmarked to best practice in general. So it's a big deal, okay? All right. So of course, we said governance. Believe it or not, something as simple as developing policy, it's so fundamental to a lot of organization success because if there's no foundational policy built, then let's face it, what are we really doing? Because we don't have any guideline, no guide rail, then there's no accountability. It gets much more messy at that point in time. Then another thing that has been so crazy is executive buying. Historically, when leadership is not bought into any initiative, it's almost guaranteed disaster historically. And I think it's still the same thing all over the world. So the first step is always making sure the top leadership buying into any major project. You must sell the project to your top leadership. If you don't, it's a recipe for disaster. And I think we can all agree with that because when people see the buying of your leadership, it sets the tone from a culture, from a strategy point of view, and it naturally just filter down to everybody else. So everybody falls in immediately. So it's a big deal. All right. Some general framework for those of us in our program. Thank you for registering. A lot of you are registered already. Awesome job. So for the upcoming program, you're going to cover NIST framework, ISO framework, different flavor of NIST, 161, 30. So it's going to be a lot of framework to kind of get you comfortable, especially in an interview setting. So don't worry, we're going to knock ourselves out in that space so well. Some general emerging trend, and it's a roundtable, so I want to make sure you get out of here more empowered. If somebody asks you what are some emerging trends, ladies and gentlemen, you can agree with me. At the minimum, we all know AI is a big deal. Even if you just know ChatGPT, we know that, right? But it means if I'm thinking of the emerging trends in cyber, AI naturally will be part of it too. Now, it's crazy because people in the technical side of cyber, they're losing jobs. Let me tell you, this is crazy. If I told you 4 years ago that programming skill is not going to be a big deal again, you would have cussed me out and said, you are silly or out of your mind, right? But guess what? Everybody on this call today, you're all programmers. If you think I'm lying, go to ChatGPT today and okay, you know what? Spoiler alert. Maybe we should just show you guys. Some of us have never seen some of these things before. So maybe it's a good one to just kind of play and show you guys a few creative things out there. Some of you have been part of our AI class, so you guys are cheating. But let me just show you guys so that you can appreciate where the world has is crazy, but this is where the world is at the moment. So it's creepy, but this is the reality. So let me just show you something real quick. At least for the sake of knowledge and information, let's just try something real quick. Some of us are familiar with this, so don't stress. It's no big deal. But I just want to make sure for those of us that have never seen it. So let me assume that I want to build a website for tourism. Develop a Python script for developing a website that allows tourists to identify new locations. Something like that, right? Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. This is crazy though, but look at this. This is just the reality, right? So now, in the previous, in 3 years ago, 2 years ago, right? I mean, this is crazy. So you can tell already this thing is writing HTML code that can be, I mean, and we've not even touched some other tools out there that you can actually use to actually build, you know, you can use those tools to build the site itself. You can build the user experience of the site with some of these tools out there, So that's even really, really like a child's play. What this is even doing, there are some tools that would actually go ahead and do like a wireframing for you guys. Let me show you one of the tools out there. And again, it's not an AI class. I just want to make sure you understand how powerful our world has become. So for those of us that are doing, yeah, cyber and doing all that stuff, right? Now look at this for a second. This is a tool out there. You can actually use it to build. You can come here and build any kind of tool. You can come here and say, okay, let's say, you can say build a tool to do, you know, and it's going to build it in a way that you'll be surprised that within a press of a button, you have a tool already. You know, look at one it just built for me by pressing a button. You know, yeah, these are just crazy stuff. But anyway, this is where our world is, right? So I say all that for some of us that are on the call saying to yourself, is this guy out of his mind? What does it mean that we can just come here and you can just immediately start building stuff? Let me show you. Yeah, we can build anything right now. I can do like a text to design, for example. I can say design a website that allows tourists to identify historic sites, something like that, right? Whatever it is. Okay, I just click generate. Ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not, this son of a gun is just generating it right now. And you see it right now. It will just be like a magic. It's generated. You see it here. In 1 second now, you guys will see it there to come up. Okay, look at it, people. Here it is. Oh, yeah. And you see it right now, people. So anyway, I say all that to make you understand where our world is, right? I know we are focused on the cyber side, but the same thing happens even in the cyberspace. Tracking of things. Now, let me show you the one I just did right now. Look at this, people. I mean, this is crazy. Right now, it has generated something based on what I just typed. As a tourist, what's your story? It's giving them historic site, Great Wall of, and I've built a site. So you can now share the code to a developer. But anyway, I digress. But the point I'm making is that our world has changed crazy, guys. You know, um, so the point is that we need to understand things have changed and we have to be adaptive. That's the key word. All right. So imagine trends, right now AI is a big deal. Another big deal is zero trust architecture. And all this is saying is that we just don't trust anything. So that's why sometimes if you move to certain location, your system would automatically just prompt you to put a one-time password, prompt you to enable your multi-factor authentication. These are things by design because zero trust architecture is just saying, you know what, the way the architecture is, we are not going to rely on anything. We are randomly going to just generate certain security elements to force you to make sure it's you at all times. So there is no rationale. We don't trust you and I at all. The model is just going to be random based on roles, your multi-factor authentication, the encryption, so many things coming together. Cloud security is a big one out there too. We can agree right now, the world, yes, we know the big player, AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, all of these cloud service providers. We need to make sure security around them is also enabled in big time. So let's take it again. AI and machine learning is a big trend. Zero trust architecture is a big trend. Cloud security is a big trend out there. If you guys have some other ones that I missed, feel free to just type it in so that we can just talk about it also. But those are some very big trends out there that the whole world is generally talking about in general. So those are big ones out there. All right, let's see another one. All right, so open to you guys. Just feel free. Tell me what trends you've seen out there. What are some things that you've noticed in general? And I'll be happy to share a few things I've seen also out there. And the way I play around it, somebody can ask you in an interview and say, "How do you keep up to date with the trends in cybersecurity?" Always tell them you follow a lot of government um, updates. There's one called CISA, Critical Infrastructure Security Agency. They are big. you follow ISC Square, you follow CISA, CISA, or ISACA, you would always say you are always going to conferences. That's a big one out there. Just say you go to conferences all the time. You follow some blogs that are focused on cybersecurity. So those are very good sources of constantly getting information in terms of cybersecurity. If anybody asks you in general, okay. All right. So I mean, some key takeaway in general, always remember that the key is we have to constantly evaluate risk in any environment. We have to keep learning. We have to make sure we constantly enhance oversight because at the end of the day, if your strategy is wrong, the problem with your cyber will just keep compounding over time. Therefore, we have to foster collaboration. So, not just collaboration within your own organization, external partners, government agency, law enforcement, and even professional peers, every one of us must work together when it comes to cyber security. The threats are real. And I don't know, for some of you, you are nurses, technicians, pharmacists, even doctors on the call. The reality is that I've seen a lot of people the last few months struggle crazy in the healthcare. It's crazy. I mean, people had to start manually entering information of their patient chart. It was just insane. As a matter of fact, people were not paid for 2 weeks. Some of you are on this call. It was crazy. It was a disaster, right? So because of that, collaboration is a big deal. When there's cyber attack, if one of us is attacked, it can impact all of us together collectively. I like that. Tafik said I listen to podcasts as well. That's a big one. I love that. All right, that's a big one. Now, one thing we have, somebody, let's take some questions and feel free to type some questions. Oh, somebody said I'm having issue with registration. It's quite straightforward, but I'll show you guys in a bit. And we can, okay, let me just quickly show you guys this. Some of you were not part of our information session, but let me just quickly jump into some of those key things. Why is cyber big? Talent shortage, job growth, unified jobs. But the way I look at it is just data within our own community. Now, we are not here to tell people things that are just fictitious. No, we will just give you data that we have seen, right? 3 months, we've had 18 offers. Now, it doesn't mean everybody's going to have an offer. At that point, we don't know. But the trend line are good. And we are suspecting mostly because of the increase in cyber attacks. So most people are hiring because of that. I think that's more close. Some other people said because it's an election year. Whatever the reason, we'll take it, right? If it's positive for us, we'll take it. So, but those are good things out there. So it makes sense to key into it, right? Um, so in general, yeah, this is somebody asked the cost fee. It's 7.99. People can use coupon code 10% off here. Elephant in the room for a lot of people, and I still spoke with the gentleman before I jumped on the roundtable. The elephant in the room is that a lot of people say this to me. I've done a lot of program. Oh my God, I've spent so much money on boot camp. And the first thing I say to them is, I do understand. It's a valid frustration for a lot of us. But here's the kicker though. The way I look at it is different. I look at it from a body of work point of view. Sometimes what you've learned over time and what you're learning in the future many times integrate with each other. And I'm a first-hand story to this. Is I genuinely believe it. My role, like some years back, I used to be head of delivery of a global consulting firm, right, in North America, operation technology. So for all the critical infrastructure, your refineries, your power station, power grid, nuclear station, that was what I specialized in cyber, right? And when I resumed that role, I started with crisis, meaning I got into the role, my team was in a mess, disaster, boom. Huge organization, Fortune 50 company. Okay. We were working on about 6 plants. The first plant we started was a disaster because things were not working well. Okay, fine. And typical client, right? So they wanted us to stop everything else, just focus on that one and probably kick you guys out. Fine. And one thing I drew strength from, of course, if you don't remember how to pray, you start praying that, okay, God help me on this one. I'm so screwed up on this one, right? So naturally, you started praying that God help me. Then I started implementing some old knowledge I've learned 10 years ago. So my whole world, I used to be, a product manager, and I acted as Scrum Master and as an Agile coach. So I just said, you know what, I'm going to make this whole project, you know, uh, an Agile project. Started implementing daily Scrum. started doing iteration planning on a project that was not really agile at all. Anyway, I just told my team, hey, pause. Any crisis we have, we're not pointing fingers. Let's just focus on, executing. I shielded them from, when there's crisis, everybody points finger. Forget pointing. I'm doing your evaluation. Forget all that for now. Focus on execution. We were doing daily scrum twice a day, afternoon, evening. So anyway, fast forward, in 5 months, we invoiced for the full plant, all the plants. We finished everything. Now, it wasn't without its challenge, but the point I'm making is that I dug from a knowledge that I've left many years ago. I say that to you. Some of you have done Scrum. A lot of you tell me, I say, oh, I've done Scrum, I've done many things. Okay, yes, valid concern. You should be mad at times. Somebody called me and said, "Hey, we are not responsive." I said, "In my own community, is the opposite. We are over responsive. You guys, some of you are mad already. We send you guys too much information. I get it." And sometimes I tell people, "Hey, guys, we need you to come to the Lions Den. Lions Den is where we prepare our folks for interview, mock interview to get you ready. And I'm always looking for people to come. So my problem is the other way around. I'm the one looking for you guys to come so I can prepare you versus the other way. Some will say, well, I'll just go watch it myself. Okay. But the point is that, and we take this serious not because, let's be straight about this, right? Let's level set. Not because I like you, not necessarily that it's a bonus to like you, but because it's in my own best interest to make sure we take care of our community so that they can be successful. I need your story more than you. Oh, trust me. Heck yes, yes. I need your story badly. I need you, I love to brag with my folks when you succeed. Oh boy, is my bragging right. That's my biggest bragging right. When I wake up, you call me and say, hey, guy, I just got an offer. Boom. It never gets old. So, and I genuinely mean that, your success means so much to our community because that's the way we can uplift each other, nothing else. Everything else makes no difference, really. And I challenge everybody. The byproduct is the money. Forget the money for a second. I know that sounds crazy. Oh, well, yeah, you crazy, it's money first. Chase excellence first. Chase leadership. Be the best in your craft. The money will come. I guarantee you. In fact, you will make your choices, but focus on excellence. Focus on execution. Be good at what you do. Let your name make a name for an, an opening for somebody else. Let somebody else say, oh, you know what? Oh, this guy is so smart. Okay, I'm going to bring you in because I had a similar fellow like you. I'll bring them in. And, I always give credit to one of my mentors. My early years, 20 something years ago in consulting, I was in the big four. And I remember the partner that interviewed me, he said, you know what? I have a guy in my team. His name is Philip Chukuma. Hey, Philip, if you're here, love to you. Man, his name opened the door for me. So my question to all of us is your name opening the door for someone or is just boom, slamming the door on someone else? So that's your call. I challenge you, make your name, make a door and opening for someone else. And the only way that happens mostly is take pride in your work, put excellence in it. There's no shortcut to this game. Commit an hour for those of us in our program. 1 hour a day is, I think you'll be fine. In terms of the content, the quality, take it to the bank. This is the best the world has to offer. We know that. Nothing, no shortcut to it. We know, but on your side, just put the work, put the discipline, and take pride in your work, man. All right, some questions people ask us in general. The classes are 3 times a week. Saturdays, 2 to 4:30 Central Time. That's 3 to 5:30 Eastern. Sunday, 2 to 4:30 Central Time, 3 to 5:30 Eastern. Then Wednesdays, 8 to 9:30 and 9 to 9:30 Eastern. All sessions are recorded. We use the learning management system. So everything is, trust me, is fully automated. Is you can, and let me tell you the cool thing. We can track you. There are quiz for every project we work on. I have teaching assistant that goes through each one of our stuff. We have interview prep for each of the topics. So I can track you really. So gone are the days you tell me that, oh, well, I went to a class, I don't have a job. No, no, no. I'll tell you, I'll go back and say, hey, brother, sister, you actually just did 10% of the work. Can you please kindly go back? I'll be respectful, right? I'll say, please push it to 80%. and we've made it simple enough. But more importantly, we want to make sure you can talk about the project in any environment. It will make a world of difference, really. People would relate with your story and ultimately give us an opportunity. All we are doing is we do our best, really. At the end of the day, we are aggressive when it comes to application. It's not a game, right? It's serious business. So it means we are done. Immediately we go crazy, start applying a lot. It's a game of number. We have a service for people that don't have time. They can use the service for 100 jobs application. It's better than doing nothing. We have an offshore team that does that for us. Now, but for most of us, just after a program like this, put at least 10 offers, 10 application out daily for 2 weeks. If we do that, we stand a good chance. Okay. All right. Let's see some other one. Okay. Let me throw some things that I know are common things. We just don't play games there. If you call me and say, hey, do you guys interview for people? Oh, Lord have mercy. That makes me personally that's a creepy question. Don't even ask us here. We don't do that game here at all. And the reason is simple. We believe so much in our community that we feel it's an insult to say somebody should do interview for you. Are they going to do the job for you too? Where does it end? We believe in your competency. You can do it. Nothing there. There's no rocket science, honestly. I feel bad. I've been in leadership for many years and I know sometimes I'll be transparent. Sometimes you have people you pay in your team, they make a lot of money and they're not as smart as a lot of people. Sometimes they are good talkers, they can talk, but they can't execute jack at times, really. So don't shortchange yourself. Be disciplined, no shortcut. It's 5 weeks. Treat yourself in that 5 weeks. Make it a thrill of your lifetime professionally to say, you know what? I'm just going to have fun, enjoy myself, and learn a lot in 5 weeks. And the beautiful thing is that we are very collaborative. You're going to work with a lot of other team members and learn a lot from each other. Some of them are managers already in their field. Some of them are even directors, believe it or not. So it's crazy. We are so blessed. Let's set another common question out there. Do you support when you get a job? Absolutely. We have a segment called the War Room, which is just a place to support our teams that are working already. I mean, look, man, we figure it out. Any way we feel we can help you to succeed, we'll try. I mean, yeah, we'll try hard, and you'll know it. You know what? We are giving it all. For those of you that ask the payment option, and there's the click around the payment option. There are so many options out there. Just go to the website. It's very straightforward. And this is the class schedule. Now, this is not updated one. There's an updated one that has two extra classes. And the reason we do that is that we introduce some few things like AI security. So, we have to add it. And there's another one, RAG, so that we can make sure the most up-to-date services are things you're also learning. So, indulge us. There will be 2 additional days. This is not the updated one. So there's 2 more classes. But let me see. Okay, what are the jobs you can apply for? Mostly you can apply for third-party risk analyst, GRC analyst, IT risk analyst, data privacy analyst. We've seen quite a number of roles. Now, the rule of thumb for us is simple. If you have, if any of the roles or the responsibility has over 50% of what we've taught in class, just apply. It means I don't care about the title, just apply. So okay, awesome, awesome. Somebody said I'm a trainer. I like your photo. Listen, man, we don't play games, man. There's no shortcut to excellence, and for us, we are passionate. We want our guys are the best in the world. I know, I mean it, really. Our background is we fraternize with the best the world has to offer. So we're not going to diminish or want less for our own community. No. So, put the work, put the excellence, and you'll be fine. So no big deal. Don't even stress it. All right. Somebody said when I logged in, I did not see the. Okay, let me just quickly show you for the purpose of information. For some of you that said you logged in, let me show you what login means. So just go to skillway.com. For some of us that have seen it, you can just, but let me just quickly show you for the purpose of folks that want to see how that works. So go to, where's the site again? Okay. So go to skillway.com or academy.skillway.com. This is the website, academy.skillway.com. And I'll type it to the group right now so you have access to it. Um, Now, if you ping me during, we start tomorrow by 2. If you ping me before around that time, I may not be, my team and I will not be responsive most likely because we'll be in the mode for getting the program started. So just FYI. Okay, so this is the program, the first one here. And yeah, you can, you know what, let me quickly switch it to, so you can see it better. Let's go to skillway.com. All right, let's go back and share. Oh, okay, let me share it again. Quite embarrassing that I will figure this out. Okay, let me show you once again. All right, I got it now. Okay, so this is the screen. This is skillway.com. Just go to, you can click on any of the program, click on start learning. It will take us to the website here. Let me be sure we are seeing that site. Okay, so this is the website. This is the first program. So for some of you asking me the same question, this is the question, the answer here. When you click on the payment plan, just click on this arrow here. It will give you the option to see it here. This is where you see, and use the coupon code for most of you. There's a coupon code. I believe it's Cyber 10. I think so. Then here's where it says have a coupon. Let me see if that works. Cyber 10. If it does not, probably it has expired. Okay, it works actually. Cyber 10 still works, so you can still use that. And yeah, the payment option plans here for those of you that asking the question here. Cash App, Affirm, Clamor, a couple of options out there, I believe. What are the options there? Yeah. So anyway, yeah, that's what that looks like. Hopefully that address some of the questions you have. Somebody said Peru. Hopefully that helps you. All right, let's see. Yeah, I think that should be good now. All right. Cybersecurity focus. Somebody said, trainer, I do appreciate your professional for the forthright. Good. Keep up the good. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Okay. Somebody says, is it recorded? Yes, it is recorded. And feel free, ask general questions. We'll be happy to. But one thing I'll tell you, man, I am super excited right now because you have no idea, man. The content we've built for this program now, everything is geared towards execution. And you would know your stuff. You would just put the work, put the time, no shortcut. Just every day, sneak in 1 hour. Sometimes just listening to the recordings and you'll be fine. So I'm pretty comfortable and I can feel I feel good saying that to you. What are the roles you can apply for? I mentioned this already. We have let's see. Okay, I think that covers pretty much it. All right. Any other question, folks? Thank you so much for hanging out on a Friday evening. And feel free, just go to the site and register. I look forward to being your mentor, hold us accountable, and we'll do the same thing. Before you go, always remember impossible is nothing. I can't wait to see you maximizing yourself. Enjoy our song. Believe it or not, it was generated by AI. We all right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Good night. Enjoy your evening. Enjoy family time. Thank you, everybody. You all are awesome. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you all. Before you go, please click on like. Let's like us on YouTube. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Like us on YouTube. Like us on YouTube before you bounce. Thank you so much. So we can share with others, okay? Thank you for hanging out. And we'll do more of this, folks. There's so much we learn with our community. Just be part of us, okay? All right, God bless. And we'll talk soon. See you all tomorrow. For those of us joining, join the class. Let's have fun together. It will be awesome. Thank you, everybody. Embrace the tempo, let your dreams take storm. Let's
Rise up,
go.
let the beat guide your way. Unlock your potential, seize the day. From the dance floor to the boardroom, let your light shine, shine. Still we Academy, it's your time. Feel the drums pulsating, the energy so strong. Join the movement where dreams belong. From Lagos to Nairobi, hear the call. Skillweed Academy, break down the walls. Rise up, leaders, let the beat guide your way. Unlock your potential, seize the day. From the dance floor to the boardroom, let your light shine, shine.